On your side, 12 News starts with breaking weather.
Hi everybody, I'm Meteorologist Ros Runner here in the 12 on your side First Alert Weather Center. As we take a look from our sky cam, we're looking down at Midlothian Turnpike, German School Road here. We've got snow and sleet packed roads and some freezing rain and sleet coming down at this hour. So our winter storm continues, and just to give you a look at some of the snow and sleet totals as of late this afternoon across the area. Now the snow and sleet combination has certainly been very impressive across a good chunk of the region, definitely creating extremely dangerous travel conditions out there. Over 5 inches in Powhatan, officially 5.3. Doswell, that's in northern Hanover County, we've had 4 inches. Vontae, which is in the western part of Hanover County, we've had about 4 inches of the snow and sleet combined. Chesterfield County, a report of 3 inches. East Highland Park, that's in Henrico County, 3 inches. And you go into Nottoway County, 2.5 inches of that snow and sleet. Now we still have the sleet and freezing rain that's going to be tapering off a little bit later this evening. Our first alert weather day continues for tonight and through the day tomorrow because of lingering impacts across the area. We take a look at the current temperatures. We are way below freezing, and we have been below freezing since Friday night. In fact, as low as the lower teens yesterday morning. So the ground is frozen. Any precipitation falling out there right now is sticking, accumulating, whether it be sleet or freezing rain, and it's still widespread. Now, what you see here in orange is largely freezing rain. There are some pockets of some heavier sleet in there too, mixed with the freezing rain. So this will continue to march its way slowly across the area as we head through the evening, but you see the northern neck getting that freezing rain. I had somebody on my Facebook page report that they had a down tree, significant accumulations of freezing rain just inland away from the bay. So some areas are greatly being impacted by that freezing rain, and we still have a couple of hours to go as this moves across the area. You see that big batch of that wintry mix of sleet and freezing rain crossing the area. So we could see in some areas potentially up to 1/10 of an inch per hour of ice secretion or glaze forming, especially on those tree tops and the tree branches, on the power lines, and obviously any ice accumulation on those surfaces could contribute to power outages. So this is a little scale here that shows you what kind of impacts to expect depending on how much freezing rain you get. Obviously, the lighter amounts of glaze would have the least amount of impact on the trees and power lines, and therefore the power outages. But once we approach 1/4 of an inch of ice, that's when you start to see some minor tree damage, and that's when the power outages start to show up a bit more. And we want to keep those to a minimum, but we certainly have the potential to see up to 1/4 of an inch of ice that accumulates on top of what we already have out there. That would be on the ground, on everything, because those temperatures are so far below freezing. Now, what we have noted and what we had a fear of in recent days is that we could see 1/2 inch or more of ice. That no longer is a concern, which is great news, and I hope we all have a lot of gratitude for that, because we don't want to see widespread power outages. But we do think there still could be some power outages with up to 1/4 of an inch of ice secretion. Obviously, once we get up to 1/2 inch or more, the power outages tend to become more widespread. So here's the latest hour-by-hour forecast. We're at 7 o'clock, which is right now. You see that widespread precipitation, a lot of it freezing rain. Some of it is in the form of sleet. By 8 o'clock within the hour, we're still seeing a large area of freezing rain and sleet. Now, over our western counties, you will start to taper down, maybe to just a little bit of freezing drizzle. And then by 9 o'clock, a lot of the steadiest precipitation, I think, will be out closer to the bay. This may be a little bit fast, moving it completely off the coast. I think there will likely still be some freezing rain and sleet lingering out here near the bay, and probably more likely freezing rain out in this part of the region versus the sleet. But then after 9 o'clock, we're looking much better. Maybe a little spotty freezing drizzle. Latest guidance indicates early tomorrow morning there could be a little bit of leftover moisture on the tail end of this departing system, so a little bit of a light wintry mix, nothing widespread. I don't think this is going to be significant in terms of additional sleet or freezing rain accumulations, but you see that moves away, and then a couple of snow showers as the colder air aloft comes back in. There could be a few flurries or snow showers during the mid and late morning into the afternoon, but a lot of us will see breaks in the clouds. See some of those cloud breaks developing, partly sunny skies, but even with a little bit of sunshine, we do expect limited melting because temperatures only expected to climb near freezing or maybe slightly above before the end of the day. So the winter storm warning will continue through the night tonight, throughout the daylight hours of tomorrow until 7 o'clock tomorrow evening because of those lingering travel impacts. And I can give you firsthand account. My drive into work today was very, very challenging. It is really slick. It is really hazardous, and we urge you to stay off the roads and give VDOT every opportunity to clear those roads as we head through the night tonight. There you see the precipitation chance is very high through 8 o'clock. It starts to trail off after that from west to east. Into the overnight, things look pretty quiet. Could be a little spotty, freezing drizzle. And then tomorrow morning, I showed you that potential for a little bit of a spotty wintry mix, and then a few flurries or snow showers into the day. Little, if any, additional accumulation expected during the day Monday, and a lot of us will see the sun pop out during the day as well. So temperatures right now 24 degrees in Richmond. They're not going to move much at all. They'll pretty much hold steady, maybe drop a degree or two, but it's well below freezing. So all that ice and snow on the ground is not going anywhere. Tomorrow's high temperature 33 if we're lucky during the middle of the afternoon. You see that potential for a little bit of leftover precipitation in that form of wintry mix or some flurries or snow showers. Then the sun pops out for a bit. At least partly sunny skies I think will develop during the second half of the day. And then it's just bitter cold, so whatever we have on the ground is going nowhere. So travel conditions, I know VDOT's going to work really hard to clear these roads for us, but Mother Nature really isn't going to help out very much at all. Even though we will get some sunshine, that may help a little bit on the paved surfaces, but not by much because we have single-digit lows in there Tuesday and Wednesday morning, highs below freezing both Tuesday and Wednesday, and actually a reinforcing shot of Arctic air is settling in late this week. There might be a couple of flurries Wednesday night into Thursday with that next surge of Arctic air, but we think the chance of any precipitation is going to be fairly limited. Just really cold temperatures with those single-digit and low-teen lows and highs that are below freezing into the start of the weekend. And we did talk about the potential for another storm next weekend. We'll keep an eye on that, but it looks like the chances have diminished just a bit, but something to still can monitor as we get closer. Hopefully by next Sunday, we'll at least have a shot at getting below freezing. We will have another update for you coming up at 8 o'clock. Stay tuned, and we now send you back to our regularly scheduled program.
We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Changes in fingers and toes. Common side